Assalamu alaikum. Hello, my dear students. How are you all? Welcome to another biology class. I'm your biology teacher, MD Jahidul Hassan. So today we are going to learn from chapter 5 and our today's topic is digestion. Okay. So what is digestion? At the very beginning, you need to know the definition of digestion. Digestion is a process by which food is broken down and chemically converted so that it can be absorbed by the cells of an organism and used to maintain vital bodily functions. Okay. So this is the overall definition of a digestion, and the process of the digestion it takes place in the alimentary canal by which food is broken up physically. Digestion, you can also define digestion in this way. Digestion is a process in the alimentary canal by which food is broken up physically as by the action of the teeth, and chemically as by the action of enzymes, and converted into a substance suitable for absorption and assimilation into the body. So through the digestion, these critical complex substances converted into unit or monomers, that means the absorbable features or absorbable unit or monomer, like carbohydrate converts through digestion. Carbohydrates converts into monosaccharides, proteins converts into amino acids, lipids convert into fatty acid, and also glycerol. So here are some uses of these monosaccharides or these substances. Monosaccharides are mainly used as energy source, and proteins are mainly used as building materials, and fatty acids are used as energy source and building material also. Okay. So that means let me tell you the definition of digestion. Digestion is a biochemical process of making food absorbable by dissolving it and breaking it down into simpler chemical compounds that occurs in the animal body. Okay. So chiefly through the action of enzymes secreted in the alimentary canal with the influence of some specific hormones. Okay, that's great, I think. Now we can divide the digestion into two ways: the mechanical digestion and chemical digestion. And the mechanical digestion means actually teeth helps us in chewing or mastication of food. First, the substance break into small pieces within the stomach and intestine. These particles turn into pulp. Okay, so the pieces of food are firstly cut, crushed, or broken into smaller particles without being changed chemically. And this mechanical process is called the mechanical digestion. And this mechanical breakdown increases the surface area of the food particles. And what is chemical digestion then? Chemical digestion means actually the chemical conversion of the food. Okay, foods are broken down into their monomers by enzymes and water. So mechanical digestion actually the final process through which a complex food actually converts into the simpler monomer or absorbable units. Okay. So here, this is the diagram of the overall digestive system of human. Total overview, like from here, from our mouth, our tongue, our teeth, our salivary glands, and our oral cavity, then pharynx, esophagus, here the organs, here the glands like liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and this one is the stomach, and small intestine, large intestine, appendix, rectum, anus. Okay, all these things. This is the overview. Okay, I'm going to describe one by one from this moment. So listen carefully. So here is this one, the mouth. The mouth is the first starting point of our alimentary canal. It is a transverse opening below the nostrils and bounded by the leaves. Okay. So I think if food enters the body through this mouth, and mechanical and chemical, both digestion occurs here in mouth. Teeth help in mechanical digestion, and salivary glands produce saliva, and that helps in chemical digestion. Okay. See here, these are the teeth in our mouth, in our buccal cavity. Our buccal cavity contains teeth and also tongue. See here, the tongue, teeth, and salivary glands. Salivary glands are beneath the tongue, and also here, salivary glands are also present here. Okay, so Teeth are the hardest part of the body. An adult human possesses up to 32 teeth. Okay, and 16 in each half of the jaws. Upper jaws it contains 16, and the lower jaws it also contains another 16 teeth. Mm, Milk teeth appear first in childhood and are replaced by the permanent teeth up to the age of 18 years. Permanent teeth are four types. Okay, molars, premolars, canine, and incisors. Here, molars, premolars, canine, and incisors. So incisor, these two teeth are used in cutting and biting food. Okay, they are incisors. So these two are incisors, and these two are also incisors. That means, so total upper and lower jaw, it contains 8 incisors. Okay, and then the canine. The canine are used for tearing and grasping. Okay, and here canine, total 4 canines. Yeah, left one, right one, and upper and lower jaw. Total it contains 4 canines. And then 8 premolars. Okay, premolars, total 8 premolars. These teeth are specialized for crushing and grinding. Total 8 premolars. And then finally the molars, and they are highest in amount, 12, total 12 molars. Mm, mm, these teeth are used in crushing and grinding, and the last 2 teeth of the gums are called wisdom teeth. Okay, so this is the overall structure, the scenario of our teeth. Now, uh, let's learn some more details about a single teeth. Teeth are designed for mechanical digestion of food. Each tooth is composed of a crown, neck, and also the root. So just like a tree, the crown is covered with enamel. Yeah, this the outer layer, outermost layer is called the enamel. It is the hardest material in our body, enamel, and enamel is formed from calcium, phosphorus, and fluoride. Okay, the part above the gum, yeah, this is the outermost part, the crown, and root, the inner part below the gum, is called the teeth. Okay. Mm, this region is called the gum, and so the upper part of the gum is called crown, and the lower part of the gum is called the root. Okay, so neck, the tooth between the crown and this middle region, that means the region that adjacent to this gum is called the neck region. That means the joining portion between this crown and root is called the neck region. Here this one is the neck region. So, each tooth is composed of several components like dentine. Dentine, the main part of the tooth consists of hard substances. Here, the just beneath the enamel, this dentine is located here in this region. This one is also the hard substance, consists of hard substances. Enamel, enamel, I've already discussed the outermost layer. Mm, and both of these dentine and enamel, both of these are composed of calcium, phosphorus, and fluorides. And then the pulp here, the pulp, the sensitive layer of the sensitive region of the teeth. Pulp surrounds a pulp cavity with blood vessels, blood artery and veins, soft cells and nerves running through it. The blood supply nourishes the dentine with nutrients and oxygen here through this pulp. And then the cementum here, this region is called the cementum region. This region is called the cementum region. The cementum, the main part of the tooth dentine, is covered with a thin covering, the cement. Okay, the tooth remains attached with the gums. Tooth attached here with the gums by means of this cement. Okay, cement, the function of the cement is the addition with the gum of the teeth. Okay, now let's talk about the pharynx. 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 Through pharynx, both food and air pass. There is an epiglottis that prevents food from entering trachea. Okay, and esophagus. The esophagus is a long tube that connects the mouth to the stomach, and it is 25 centimeter in length and 2 centimeter in width, and waves of smooth muscles contraction is called peristalsis that moves the food toward the stomach through this esophagus. No digestion occurs here in the esophagus. Esophagus actually provides the connection, provides the joining line between our pharynx or mouth to our stomach. And here the stomach, food is stored temporarily in the stomach. It is J-shaped, 25 centimeter in length, 12 centimeter in width, almost the volume. Though this volume vary from person to person, but the average volume is around 1200 centimeter cube, and surface area is almost 600 meters. The stomach is a big like organ which is located between the esophagus and the small intestine. The wall of the stomach is very thick and muscular. The inner surface of the stomach has numerous gastric glands. Continuous contraction and relaxation of the muscular wall of the stomach turns food material into pulp or semi-fluid mass, which is called chyme. Okay, so the juice secreted from the gastric glands helps in food digestion, and stomach secretes enzymes for chemical digestions of proteins. Mm. Now the small intestine, after the stomach, there is a huge tube-like structures. Here, see, this is the figure of the small intestine. The small intestine, this coiled long duct which extends from the stomach up to the large intestine is called the small intestine, and it is divided into three parts: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Okay, bile duct from the gallbladder and pancreatic duct of the pancreas joins just before the small intestine. Okay. Mm, and it opens into the duodenum, and bile duct just opens into the duodenum. It releases its bile juice at the duodenum. Bile from the liver and pancreatic juice from the pancreas and enters the first part of the duodenum, and the inner wall of the intestine bears finger-like projection called villi. Okay, see, these are the finger-like projections called villi. If you zoom here at the intestinal area, and you'll get this thing, and if you zoom here, you'll get these things, and if you zoom more, you will get these microvilli. They are microscopic in size, and inside the villi, these are the capillaries network, veins and arteries. Okay. Mm. What is the function of this villi? This villi absorb the vast majority of small food molecules produced by digestion. Okay, this due to this villi, surface area increased so many times. That's why easily food particles can absorb through these villi. Okay, now the large intestine. Waste moves into the large intestine from small intestine. Between them, there is a valve. Okay, there is a valve between large and small intestine. So it controls the transfer of food from small intestine to large intestines. Large intestine has three parts: cecum, colon, and rectum. No digestion takes place in the colon. This is the most of the cases. In exceptional case, digestion takes place, but most of the cases, no digestion takes place here. Mineral ions and water are absorbed through the walls of the large intestine. The large intestine contains many bacteria. They produce vitamins such as vitamin K, and these bacteria are called normal microbial flora. The large intestine has a finger-like extension, the appendix, and that makes a minor contribution to the defense, though the minor thing, but they have some roles in our immunity. So large intestine is open to the outside of the body through the anus. And through this way, we actually excrete our waste materials from the body. So this is the kind of the end of the alimentary canal. Okay. So digestive system glands, digestion, total digestion, that means the conversion of complex foods into simpler food needs so many enzymes, and those enzymes and liquids are actually released from these digestive glands. These are the major digestive glands: salivary glands, gastric glands in stomach, salivary glands in mouth, intestinal glands in intestines, liver, and pancreas. So let's talk about the salivary glands first. These are three pairs of salivary glands found in the lining of the mouth, and they are sublingual gland here just beneath the tongue, submandibular gland, yeah, mm, at the right and left mandibles, and parotoid glands just beneath, just below the ear. We have submandibular parotid glands. So salivary glands secrete enzymes, amylase, into the mouth, and this amylase helps in chemical digestion of carbohydrates. Okay, and saliva also contains a slippery glycoprotein called mucin, which protects the soft lining of the mouth from abrasion and lubricates the food for easy swallowing. Okay, so and you know the salivary glands, not the three in number, they are three pairs. That means total six in number. Mm, okay, now the gastric glands in the stomach. Mm, the gastric glands in the stomach wall are called gastric glands, and the juice secreted from these glands are like trypsin, lipase, amylase, is known as gastric juice, and they actually converts, digest the protein and fat molecules, especially sorry proteins molecules. Mm, there is no enzyme presence here in stomach to digest carbohydrate molecules. And also gastric juice is a combination of hydrochloric acid and pepsin. Okay, now intestinal glands secrete several enzymes which help chemical digestion of carbohydrates, nucleic acids, proteins, fats. Mm, and intestinal walls, inner lining of the intestinal wall is full of these intestinal glands. Okay, liver, this one is the largest gland here within the body. Okay, the liver is situated just below the diaphragm, on the right side of the stomach. It is the largest gland of the body and is deep brown in color. The right lobe of the liver is larger and the left than the left lobe, and the liver consists of four incomplete lobes. Each lobe consists of lobules, and each lobule contains numerous cells. Okay, and these cells produce bile, and this bile is alkaline in nature, and due to this bile, intestinal environment is alkaline in nature. Different types of biochemical reactions takes place in the liver, so it is also called the organic laboratory. Beneath the liver, the gallbladder is also attached with the liver. It is stored the bile juice, and bile is deep green in color and bitter taste, alkaline in nature. The gallbladder is connected with the bile duct. Pancreas are connected with the pancreatic duct, and these two ducts then together form a common duct that opens into the duodenum. Okay, it enters into the duodenum through the pancreatic duct. Okay, so bile also promotes the absorption of fatty acids and the fat soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. So what are the functions of the liver? So liver produces bile, and the ingredients of the bile are also mainly water, bile salt, bile, cholesterol, mineral salts, and then it is stored in gallbladder. When necessary, the bile passes to the duodenum and takes part indirectly in digestion. And there are no enzymes in bile. The liver stores excessive glucose as glycogen, and then bile neutralizes the acidic chyme that comes from stomach, and this is favorable digestion because um, food is not digested in acidic medium. The bile breaks fat and oil into minute droplets, so it becomes easier for lipase to digest the fats easily. Okay, and when blood sugar falls below the normal level, the glycogen, which is stored in the liver, is reconverted into glucose and transmit into the bloodstream. Okay, so thus, in this way, liver maintain the glucose level under control. Another organ now here is the pancreas. The pancreas secretes pancreatic juice that includes many enzymes which aids the breakdown of proteins, fats, carbohydrates, and nucleic acids. You know, pancreas also secretes hormones, insulin and glucagon, to regulate the blood glucose level. These are the hormones. And a pancreas is, this one is a mixed gland. It not only secrete enzymes, it also secrete hormones. I've already discussed. Mm, so the secretion of the pancreas is called pancreatic juice. It contains the enzymes trypsin, lipase, and amylase, and these enzymes helps in the digestion of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Okay. Okay, now let's talk about the digestion of foods, digestion of carbohydrates, then digestion of proteins, and then digestion of fats. So Digestion, is the biochemical process by which larger, complex, insoluble, unabsorbable food substances break into absorbable and soluble simple elements in the presence of enzymes and hormones is called digestion. So here, food substances at the very beginning break into a small soluble form, and then it diffuses through the cell membrane and enter into the cell easily. And then lastly, blood transport the digested simple ingredients to different parts of the body. So here is the digestion of the carbohydrate in mouth. Digestion begins in mouth by amylase enzyme, and this amylase breaks down the starch, that means carbohydrates, into dextrin and maltose. Okay, starch plus water in the presence of amylase, it converts into dextrin and maltoses. And in stomach, no carbohydrate digestion takes place because there is no enzyme found within the stomach that can digest or convert these complex carbohydrates into simpler form. Amylase doesn't function in acidic area. This is the main reason. That's why, and stomach is full of acid, hydrochloric acids. That's why there is no digestion takes place here within the stomach. And then in intestine, actually, the majority portion of the carbohydrates are digested in the intestine. Pancreatic juices, intestinal glands, secreted enzymes like maltase, lactase, and sucrase that act on the disaccharides and converts into monosaccharides, that means glucose. And pancreatic juices, it also contains so many enzymes, so many amylase enzymes, which act on polysaccharides and converts into monosaccharides. Okay. Here in the intestinal reactions, these are the additional informations out of your book. For your you can, this is not mandatory to memorize these informations, but this informations helps you to understand the total scenario. Dextrin and water within presence of amylase converts into glucose, maltose in presence of water, sucrose in presence of water, lactose in presence of water. With the help of these enzymes, they converts into glucose and fructose. These are the glucose, fructose, galactose. These are the monosaccharides, the simplest form of carbohydrates. Okay. And digestion of carbohydrates are finished in intestine. Then digestion of proteins, in mouth, no chemical digestion takes place. No chemical digestion of proteins takes place. In stomach, protein digestion begins by gastric juice and pepsinogen reactions in stomach. What are the reactions? Pepsinogen in an active form, it converts into active pepsin through the help of the hydrochloric acid, and then this active pepsin converts the protein into peptones in presence of water. And in intestine, actually the majority of proteins are digested here within the intestine. Pancreas produces trypsinogen, chymotrypsin, and intestinal glands produce enterokinase and epipsin for protein digestion. Okay. And here are some additional reactions here that takes place here in the intestine. Peptones, peptides, all these things converts into peptides or amino acid. Amino acid, the monomeric and absorbable form of the intestine. Trypsinogen, also trypsinogen plus enterokinase forms the trypsin, make it active. Trypsin is the active form of the trypsinogen. And finally, the digestion of lipids. In mouth, no chemical digestion. Even in stomach, no chemical digestion of lipid takes place. In intestine, lipids digestion actually begins here in intestine. The cells of the liver produce bile, and then it is stored in the gallbladder, and gallbladder then transfer according to the requirements the bile juice into the small intestine, and as a result an alkaline environment creates within the small intestine. And the lipid digesting enzymes can only convert complex form of lipids into simpler form of lipids in the alkaline environment. So that's why lipid digestion actually takes place. Majority of the lipid digestion takes place here within the small intestine. Okay. And emulsification takes place here. That means the breakdown of lipid molecules, larger lipid molecules into simpler form. Here, this is the emulsification process, lipid, and this one is the lipid, and through the in presence of bile, emulsified lipid into small particles. After emulsifying, lipase enzyme is secreted from the pancreas and it breaks down these lipid molecules, these smaller lipid molecules, with the help of the lipase into fatty acids and glycerol. And these fatty acids and glycerols are the absorbable monomeric unit. Okay. So this is the overall digestion of a human. I think that's all for today. Thank you all.